Elad Richard, a young entrepreneur, an actor and director of best-paced movies, is a young Cameroonian who hails from the land of Sancho. Reasons and why he got into acting and became an entrepreneur could best be understood as he explains.
Okay, I'm called Elad Richard, actually a young and entrepreneur in our country. So I am involved in film industry and I'm the founder of Best Pace Movies, found in Sancho, where we act and we are involved in movies, web series, as well as music. It is true, we are evaluating, but we face a lot of difficulties. All of us knows the most difficulties in entrepreneurship is financial difficulties, whereby we are really hard on that sector. But we just believe by God's grace we will make it. Now many people will ask themselves, why are the youth instead taking the direction of film industries or music? The truth is, what makes us to take the direction is the difficulties we face in our daily activities in our country. The country is tough, so we think to succeed we have to fight on our own. We have to create something. We have to do something new. So what really makes me to enter into this was the fact that I first of all love movies. So I'm passionate of that. I can say so is my passion. Then seeing the difficulties I've gone through, that is when I just said, instead of doing something I don't like, better I sit and I do something that can help not only me, but the people around. And just knowing, it was very difficult for me to start somewhere that I don't really know the area. I decided to go to my own personal place, where at least I know the people around and I know if I'm blocked, they can support me.
Richard has the new movie titled The Chosen Bride.
My God! Hey! What is it? Why are you shouting my name like that? Apparently got the news pushing again. The town crier just announced that the supermarket is the prince will be choosing his price. Hi! The two gossipers. For the stream. Who is there? What? Who invited you? Who invited you? I'm going to the parlor. You are on your way to the parlor before you meet the two gossipers. Must you talk? Can't you pass your own way?
This new movie will be released on the 4th of February 2023 at Hotel de Ville de Sancho, and subsequent promotions will also take place here in Boya.
Okay, Mr. Richard, welcome to our studio once more.
Thank you.
Well, viewers of GASA Media, this is Mr. Elad Richard. I guess you've understood more about him during the short video you just watched, and Mr. Elad Richard has graced us with his presence here today. Mr. Elad Richard is an entrepreneur, an actor, and a director, all in one package. Wow, that's a lot. How do you manage all of these three attributes?
You just try and do things and hand everything to God.
Yeah, okay, living God at the forefront, very, very important. So we're going to examine you on these three different levels: the entrepreneurial level, the level of an actor, and finally a director. So, Mr. Elad Richard, a young entrepreneur, and we know how it's, very difficult to be able to manage the aspect of an entrepreneur at this age of yours. So, just tell us, what are the favorite aspects when it comes to the entrepreneurial level? What do you like about being an entrepreneur?
What I like about being an entrepreneur is that when you really focus on it and you are determined, it doesn't fail you.
Okay.
So it's something that when you really do it and you put your mind, nobody will come and tell you, no, you are sacked. No. So you just continue with what you are determined to. That means you are the owner of yourself.
The boss of yourself.
You are the boss of yourself.
Okay.
So you receive no order from anybody. So you take your decision as you reach.
Okay, that means you're the boss of yourself. You're a self-made man.
Exactly.
Yeah, but obviously that means there are going to be some challenges you do face as entrepreneurs.
Obviously.
So tell us more about these difficulties.
You know, as an entrepreneur, there are a lot of challenges because, first of all, difficult to stand up, especially for us, the youths, and say, no, we have to bring up something.
Okay.
It's very hard.
That's true.
Very hard in the aspects of finance, I would say, insist there, because that is the most difficult thing. With money, everything is possible. And we just know to start is very difficult. But once you have started and you are somewhere, you realize that everything is very easy. With the challenges, we have many challenges, especially in the film industry. I will take it because that is where I am.
Yes, okay.
With the actors.
Yes.
At times, they will just know after shooting, you have to give them something. At times, when you don't really motivate them as they reach, you realize that some of them will be like disappointed, and they will start behaving a type, telling you, no, if you don't have this, we'll just go. So there are a lot of challenges, and knowing that in the film industry many people are entering in, so we really need to bring out something that will make us different from others.
That just reminds me, they tell me that though I'm not a pilot, but I get to understand that to take off the plane and landing it, that's the most difficult part. But once on the air already, I guess that's the most simple part.
Exactly.
So I just want to know, in line with this, like, how do you manage to stay in business, given the competitive nature of the film industry? How do you manage to keep yourself, how do you carve your own niche?
Okay, what makes me to stay in business is that our aim, first of all, is success. So that's our main aim. So success is exactly our priority.
Okay.
What makes me now to stay in business is just because I know I can make something that is different from what others are making. So when I sit, I watch what people are doing, and I say, okay, what can I correct here so that mine should be better than theirs? And I'm determined to do that, and I'm determined to succeed. And I know God is my power, so He controls everything. That is why I'm confident of myself, and I cannot fail, because failure is not my portion.
Alright. Well, provided that you are more than an entrepreneur, you're an actor, so let's not waste all our time talking about your entrepreneurial side. So let's get to your acting side. I mean, how do you do to manage or approach a particular character on stage?
Yeah, that is one of the most difficult parts. Because
Indeed.
in movies, today I can be a prince, tomorrow I'm a madman, and the next day I'm a truck pusher. So it's really difficult to change your personality.
Yeah.
But what we do is we work under serious training.
Okay.
So when we reach, if we have a movie at hand, we first of all test all the actors before sharing the exact parts.
Okay, the roles, yeah.
When you have your own parts, what we do is we provide everything for you to really maintain that part.
Okay, you say provide everything like, I don't understand.
All the necessity you need.
Okay.
If you are to act the part of a madman, and the skill is not really there, we can ask you, what do you really need
to make
it real? Then we provide it to you.
Okay, what if people say, okay, I will need like palm wine to get me high and drunk to behave like a mama? You provide?
Obviously, if it's the palm wine, right, we will give it, but not to the extent that it can really traumatize him. That is it.
That's just an aside though, because I believe, when I usually see people acting the place of a mad person, I'm like, what do they really do? Do they really get them high and tipsy before they act those parts? Anyways.
But some of them, it's just natural. When they act it, you may think they have taken something, but it's just natural.
Alright, that means they just have that skill in them.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, talking about The Chosen Bride, I guess you had a role in that film.
Perfectly.
The name was, what was the name of the film?
In the film, I'm the prince.
The prince.
Yeah, I'm the prince, and I'm the one to choose my bride.
Okay, tell us more about this prince character. Tell us, who is he? What are we looking at here?
Talking of the prince character, it is true, it's my first time acting as a prince.
Okay.
I would say it was not really easy for me to really adapt myself and act like a prince.
Alright.
I can say I tried my best. So in the film, the prince is just like doing everything possible to choose his bride because he will need to be crowned the king.
Yeah.
So for that to be possible, he needs to get married.
Okay.
So what he does is reason several times on who to choose since he has nobody he is dating.
Alright.
So
Okay, given that this is your first time acting as a prince, what were the difficulties you faced acting as a prince?
the difficulties were first of all the first part of it was the personal bringing out the personality of a prince in me. It was really difficult just to stand like this and prince has their own way of doing things.
Yeah, they have their own charisma.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it was really difficult for me to bring out that personality of a prince, to walk like a prince, or to react and respond like a prince. It was really tough for me. It was a challenge.
Okay, so can you give us a time frame of how long it took you to prepare as a prince, to prepare to take this role as a prince?
Yes, I can say I took 2 months and a half.
Just acting as a prince,
Just acting as a prince.
were you backstage preparations, like maybe when you're at home, you act, you just gesticulate as a prince, or how?
Obviously, we have our training periods and our meeting time. When we meet, we do that, and whenever I was leaving, going home, or wheresoever I goes, I would always try to say, I've seen one film, this prince was moving like this, let me just try and imitate and imitate him in the house. When I will be doing things, my sister will be even laughing at me that it's as if that film is taking your head. Just because I will just try speaking like a prince and
Acting as a prince.
acting like a prince.
Okay, so for how long have you been into the acting as a whole, not necessarily being a prince, but how long have you been acting?
He has not really stayed because I just brought up the industry.
Okay. Okay, now talking about the industry which you just brought up. So talking about you being a director, because we were out away from you being just an actor and entrepreneur. I got to understand you're also an actor. You're also a director in this industry. So how has it been being a director in this industry?
There is another aspect. For me to be a director, I have to sit and reason a lot, and to bring out a script or a film, it's not something that is easy. So at times the idea comes from just natural environment. I can just sit. My source of inspiration are only twice. That is my personal experience and my life experience.
Okay, that's your source of inspiration.
Those are my source of inspiration.
Alright. So now I'm talking about a chosen bride. What's the message this film is telling us, viewers, or bringing out to the society?
Okay, The Chosen Bride is a film that talks mostly of our culture.
Okay.
Nowadays, we are trying to keep aside our culture and embrace the modern things that the white man brings, not knowing that before the white man came into our own part of life, we had something behind. So, The Chosen Bride is firstly to tell us that no matter what, we should always maintain our culture. The Chosen Bride sends an important message to those who are suffering, that no matter your suffering, there will be a time life will come upon you. Because when you really watch The Chosen Bride, you realize that the person that has been chosen is an orphan, and she goes through a lot of difficulties. It just tells us that we should not abandon.
Okay.
We should always keep our heads up.
Alright. That's a very clear message to the audience. So, what inspired this film? You said you were getting from your personal experience and how you see life. So, what was that particular experience, if you don't mind sharing with us, that really inspired you bringing out this film?
As I earlier said,
Yeah.
what really makes me to bring out The Chosen Bride was first of all the part that I was seeing our culture dying,
Yes.
especially the Mbo culture.
Number culture.
Yes, that is my personal culture.
Alright. Okay.
So I was really seeing it dying, and I said, no, let me bring something out that people can also sit and say, yeah, they once heard this dialect in one film.
Okay. So you have to bring the Mbo people to light.
Obviously, because we are really dying. And the clue is that it does not only focus only on the Bo culture, but it's a mixed culture because we are trying to renew Cameroonian and African culture
As a whole.
Yeah, as a whole. We are trying to bring it out to make it vibrate, not embracing other culture. That is assimilation. We don't want to be assimilated.
Okay. So this is like kind of advocating for Africanness.
Exactly. That Africans should be what they were.
Okay, so provided this is your first film that has actually come to light, so how has it inspired you to bring out other films, or how do you see life now?
Talking of this, it's really my first film coming to light because the first one was totally a failure, I can say so.
Okay.
I was really discouraged of bringing this out because the first one was not successful. But since I'm determined to succeed, I said no, let me try it for the second time. Now the fact that this one is out, it really encouraged me to work more and more, and truly speaking, I have already more than 5 ideas of bringing some out just because this one has shined. So it really encourages me. It gives me that anxiety and that will to work continuously because I know if the first one succeeded, obviously
the second one
will succeed and the rest will succeed.
Positive thinking. Well, just to remind us a little outside viewers, we have a production or a whole talk on positive thinking. Make sure you follow positive thinking. I mean, it's a product of positive thinking. Okay, Mr. Richard, as the director of The Choosing Bride, obviously, during directing these films, there have been some challenges. That's true. Be it at the with the different actors and all the rest, and maybe finance and all the rest. So, have you been able to breach this problem? First of all, let's highlight what's one of the challenges you faced in directing this film.
Concerning the challenges I faced, I will just first of all come back during our training period. Whereby you program a day and you realize that some actors will come and some will not come. When you call and ask what is the matter, they will tell you, mommy occupies me. I was not really feeling fine. Then you ask them, when can you people be free? They will give you a day. All of us will agree, but on the very day you realize that those who were there last time will not come, then the other will come. So it was really difficult for me to really join them and work with them.
I got to realize that majority of your actors were youths.
Exactly.
So how do you manage to put them in place? Given that the youth are not really easy to come together to do something, like how do you manage them?
It is true the youths are not really easy to bring together, but what is me is the way I communicate with them. The way I talk with them. Because I just take them as myself and they understand me when I explain something. They say, okay, he has a point of view. Let us accompany him. So that is it. And if I may continue, the second part of my challenges was going to the shooting spot.
Tell us more about that.
That was really challenging because the day we went in just to arrange the place, decorate the area, transport problem. While going, we discussed with someone that was to pick us up and go to the spot. While coming back, we had to call him and he brings us back. But unfortunately, at the eve, when I discussed with him, he told me that would not more be possible. I was really shocked.
Wow.
But by God's grace, in the morning we took bikes. We went there.
Bikes?
Yes.
Interesting.
We went there. Then the most difficult part was when we were returning, since we went to one village. Unfortunately, we saw no bike. So we used our legs for a very long distance till we arrived in town. The next day we went, still with bike. While coming,
still on foot.
No.
I was about to ask you long or something.
We were not on foot this time around. We just had an opportunity of seeing someone that was returning back from the farm with his pickup. So we just discussed with him, he carried us. But on the last day, that was where we saw hellfire.
Wow.
Because we finished past 5. Unfortunately for us, we saw no bike. And only one person among us had bike. So it was like carrying 3 people, go and live in town, come back. So that's where we started. We used our legs, going. I personally arrived home at the last position. It was around 8 p.m. I was entering my own house. So
Okay, so how long has it taken to produce this film? Like a time frame from the shooting to organizing, recruiting characters and all the rest. How long has it, like, just what's the time frame, if you can estimate?
I can say if I want to estimate the time frame, all the lights we had 5 months.
Okay.
Yes, but for the shooting we took 3 days because my actors mastered everything.
Okay.
It was not as if we're rambling or
How many actors?
repeating.
How many actors were there exactly?
In total in my group,
Yeah.
I have 27 actors, but 23 were shooting
Okay.
because the rest were not actually in Sancho by the time we were shooting the season right.
Okay, at least we're running off viewers, but now we've come down to the naming aspect. They say what you name, you control, and names have meaning. Obviously, something must inspire a particular name. So let's begin first of all with your industry name. Why best space movies?
Okay, best space movies because we need to create or we need to do the best things on earth.
Okay.
That is the main thing. People will ask me, how managed did you get the name best space movies?
Exactly.
The thing is, I really thought of it and I prayed. I had a dream. In my dream, I heard of the name. Then I just say, if God brought these names to me, let me better use it.
Okay, so the inspiration was divine.
Yes.
Interesting. Then okay, now talking about the aspect of the film, yes, I've gotten the storyline. Apart from the storyline that actually necessitates using the Chosen Bride as a title, but I mean, I guess there are other titles coming up in mind, other titles in place. Why did you settle on the Chosen Bride? Why did you not say the Lucky Girl or the one? the Chosen Bride. Yeah, the Chosen Bride. Why did you make it that obvious? The Chosen Bride.
You know, you are not the first to ask me such a question.
Okay.
Because one guy asked me on my way, why did you not use the Prince choice?
Yeah, something of that issue.
But I told him, the thing is, when you hear the Prince choice, mostly when Francophones are shooting their films, you always hear Le Choix du Prince. And in other films, so they have used it several times.
Okay.
And my aim is to be using what they are not really using. So as I earlier told you, I'm trying to do something that others are not doing.
Okay.
So I just choose the Chosen Bride because I know it's a name that is really scarce. It's hard for people to just think of the Chosen Bride. They will always think of things that are near besides them. Meanwhile, when I look at the environment, I say, no, this thing is really common. So it needs less for me using it again. I better use my dictionary or my phone. I search for the synonym of the words that are hardly used and I use it.
Okay. When I look about when I look at the Cameroon film industry, when I try to put a comparison though like Nigeria and next door neighbor, I come to ask myself, why is Nigeria doing better than Cameroon? What I mean, if they say longevity, no problem, but I get to still realize that there's more to that. And I came to an aspect to understand that people say the lighting, that the Cameroon system will fail in the technical domain. Like, how do you manage to, how do you want to combat these challenges that the normal Cameroonian film industry face? How do you plan on combating every challenge? Because I guess before getting into the film industry, I've done your research. I have come to notice the weaknesses of the Cameroon film industry. So how do you manage to boost this up?
Okay, the thing now is we can't really compare Cameroon movies and Nigerian movies.
Okay, yeah, that's
There's
true.
two different things. Nigeria, they know how to do the thing because they follow up their actors when they're still small.
Okay.
So they bring them up in the domain. They are really trained in it. Why here in our own country, when you first of all have the idea, your brothers and sisters will be the first to be discouraging you. At times you are moving in the house, you see your sister will call you actor and laughing.
that I don't believe
You
in.
just feel the frustration in you.
Wow.
That is the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the next thing is that in our country, what we look most is money, not the work we have to do. That is why you always see the difference between Cameroon and Nigerian movies. Because with Nigerian movies, they really take their time and they do their things well. But in our own country, we like the last minutes. And what we do at the last minute is not really successful. So to combat that, as best place movies, we realize all of us are youths. I mean, all of us. And nearly all of my actors are still students. That's still schooling. So I really train them on that. And we have a subject like entrepreneurship, where I'm the person teaching them. We work on that and we try to bring that actor spirit in them. Make them to understand that what is important is not money, but our own personal image.
Okay.
So just make them to understand that if Nigerians are at the top, they do not practice witchcraft, they do not practice magic, we can also be at the top.
Okay.
So I just advise my other colleagues that we first of all put our determination in before money. If everything comes before money, then obviously success will come, and meeting the level of Nigeria is nothing.
Okay. Well, viewers, upon these solid words from Mr. Elad Richard, we draw the curtains of today's edition. This is GASA Media, bringing to the spotlight people making waves in the society. Don't forget to like, leave a comment, and share our content. And bye-bye.